It's a light westerly, turning northwesterly as the evening goes on, but as you can see, we have no problems with the swells, different things. It's a big tide, so we've got 6-ounce leads, pulley drop down rigs. I'll go through the rigging with you in a minute, and extra large bait thrust single sand deals, top quality bait. So I'll go through the rigs and that now. Okay, for the rigs, up in close as you've never seen before. So what we shall do is give you instant access to what I'm actually using. As I said, this is up and close, and you're guaranteed to be told. A 170 red breakaway impact lead. All the time I use these for this type of fishing. You're not going to lose them. It's on the clean ground. This is what you want to be using. Guaranteed to release every time, top quality. Now I've got a Gemini swivel link clip on that, which I attach my lead to. Then I've got shock leader. You can use any shock leader to be honest, don't make no difference. I use the Ultima Powerflex. That's £70. And I've got a Sakuma bead, and I've got the power swivels are 240 pound strength. Ideal. I get them from Exeter Angling Centre. Then I get a Gemini bent link clip, obviously onto the swivel. Then that's my trace end. I've got £70, and I've got 2 Varivus big mouth 5.0 extras, pennelled. Then I've got another Sakuma bead, a power swivel, a Sakuma bead, and a power swivel, and that is my main trace. It's a pulley drop down rig, I use for raying. Bait to rust, extra large sand deal. Get these in, boys and girls. Honestly, I've got like, I think 150 packs in my freezer, which I don't pay for this, I buy this, and it allows me to go fishing more often. If I'm buying them on the line and getting them cheaper, ideal. So what I do is, I head, and I tell them, same as the bait elastic, best one I find, to be honest, is Exeter Angling Centre for bait elastic. I don't know what brand it is, it's in a yellow packet, but out of all of them, I've tried the Sakuma ones and different things like that, and this is by far the best I find. It's light, it stays on, it's very strong, it don't muck around, keeps your bait secured to the trace line and the hook. 1, 2, back down and around. So I'm going up through like that. To be honest, anybody who's using the Sakuma Manta Extras, why pay that extra money when you can go on and, to be honest, I don't like Jansen Tico at all, but that Harry Blake, apparently, I've never met him, never spoke to him, but I've heard a lot of good things about him. He's the owner of the shop now, I believe. But for the Varivus Big Mouth Extras, I can buy 30 for less than a fiver, right? The Sakuma, you're paying near enough that for 10. I mean, what's the point? You know what I mean? You keep the cost down when you go fishing, you can go more often than you. So that's the first rig already done, and that was basically it now. So it's just a waiting game. I'll clip them onto my trace bar. When I reel in, another one on. As you said before, everything I'm showing you now is kept in for the pay-per-view page, and you'll see how much time and effort actually goes into catching the fish, and obviously hints and tips get you out there catching them as well. Okay, before we start fishing, we got the rods out anyway, but before I start getting on with any fishing bits and pieces, all I want to do is have a little talk about the venue we're on and different people fishing marks for the first time. As you can see, there's a lot of rock ledges below. And they're getting wet, they're going to be very slippy, and as I said before, holding fish by the tails and bits and pieces, you need a hand free when you're going down fit, things like that. And in doing it at the dark, you won't be able to see, but got swells coming in now. They're very light today, but sometimes when we fish this venue, they're very, very large, and it's for the utmost importance. So whoever else is up here fishing and catching a fish, they've got their light shone out there, seeing what's coming down, and it's not hitting whoever's out down there landing a fish. Safety all the time. As you can see, Mr. Vass, all purchased from Seaview Angling in Plymouth. He's bought himself some new boots, waterproof bottoms, nice Vass hoodie, He's got a woolly out there as well to go with it to make him the finishing touch. Okay, another thing I'd like to talk about is these little babies here. Around 50 quid, the IMAX coastal jacket. Now, I got this a tad small, which is a shame because there's only one what was left at that time, but I picked it up. The right deal for the summer, cold summer nights, but I will be getting an XXL just so I can get a jumper or anything underneath with it. Having said that, it's not cold at the minute, but with this, I find I'm sweating. Now, Lee Treeby used one of these in Norway, and he was warm the whole time he was over there. Absolutely cracking jacket, so top quality. I mean, if you're out, you want something keep you warm in the night time, pick one of these up, boys and girls, because these are absolutely cracking. I'm very, very impressed with them. That's it. Boom. Job done. Job's a good one. Let's get some fish. Okay. Gonna do a little story time in a minute. Story time is going to be happening on a few trips we do. And we're going to name this part of the episode Treeby Tales. Now, the reason we call it Treeby Tales is good old Lee here, he has some magic moments in life. One of the rich, reading Total Sea Fishing magazine, we're on an airplane and I'm reading my book. And we just took off and we're in flight, and I was minding my own business, reading my book, looking out the window, like fucking trying to make up my mind off the fact I'm about fucking 3 miles up in the air with nothing been underneath me except from an airplane floor. And he looks up to me and he says, "And where'd you get your book?" And so I said, "Lee, I got it from the library at the back, mate." So he stands up and he's, "I want a book." So he starts walking up to the back of the plane. He goes to the right hand door, opens it, and it's a toilet. He goes to the left hand one, it was shut, which was a toilet. You've seen the toilet sign. So he turns around and says, "Where is it?" I said, "The door at the end, what goes downstairs, mate." So the lady, what happened? The lady said to you, did she? He was drunk, but the lady did say, "Excuse me, sir, what are you doing?" He said, "I'm looking for the library, which is downstairs." It was a bit funny anyway, but he's got a better one than that. I'll tell what happened the other week when he introduced his mate to get bait digging from one of the local tackle shops, and his mate let the tackle shop owner down. So Lee, being the nice guy he is, decided to go out and get some bait, and this is what happened.
I was digging for Andy in Seaview Tackle and Bait, doing him a favour because somebody let him down. I was basically digging my worm from about 9 o'clock in the morning. I was digging for about 3 hours. I had a rod out, floundering. A guy came down, started having a little chat to me. I then moved on to get a few peeler crab, and basically getting my bait ready for going up the channel with Andy fishing for the day. And just about pretty much I'd come to the end of my dig, cleaned all my bucket and everything. I left it on the island of Arreston in Plymstock. As it was left on the island there, some other guy came down, distracted me. We was yapping for about 5-10 minutes, and I went over to the old guy again, had a chat to him whilst watching the rods, and we basically seen a bucket floating down by, a red bucket. This old guy obviously said, "There's a bucket, obviously someone's lost it on their boat." I've looked at the bucket, looked at the island, and noticed my bucket had gone. I had to run up my mum and dad's, get a dinghy. By this stage, my bucket had gone halfway over the River Plym, and yeah, after rowing out to get my bait, I managed to get it back. I was a very lucky boy.
It's the best bit. The bit he didn't tell you was the bit where him and his mate, this bloke he just met, he's just been sat down fishing for flounder when his bucket started bobbing up in the tide, and they're both looking at the bucket, and mate, he says to him, "Someone's lost their bucket from the boat." So Lee's looking at it saying, "Yeah, someone's lost their bucket." So Lee, not paying no attention, no wiser, he sat down baiting up. 20 minutes later, and as he's putting his crab on for the flounder, he's looked up and he sees his bucket bobbling on in the tide, like in the distance. Then it suddenly hit him. He hit a bucket like that, and the bucket that he had been digging with for the last 3 hours before, full of ragworm, like 3 pounds of ragworm, is bobbling away in the tide. Mental, unbelievable. Another Treeby adventure. mates out constantly with nothing to show. Carl had a small strap longer. Lee had, what did you have, Lee?
I had 3 doggies.
He had 3 doggies and I had a couple of dogfish as well. Very, very poor for the lads. Very, very ashamed. No big fish out. But as you can see, this is what goes into getting us those fish. So another session learnt. So he's going to drive me back to my car now and buy me McDonald's, a lovely lad. He's driving up to Newton Abbott and buy me McDonald's for my birthday tomorrow. Yeah. Horrible get, isn't he?
I'll tell you a story though.
I'm going to go left here, mate. What's your story? Morning glory. Go on, let's hear your story. Say your story. Camera shy.
Oh yeah, I've got the camera, mate.
Anyway,